Hey. Hello. Hello, happy Saturday. Welcome. Uh-oh, gotta clean it off a little bit. Hang on. Okay. We're here. We're ready. How are you? It's October. Football gets a little bit more important in October, doesn't it? We get a little bit more closer with painting our picture on who's going to the playoffs in the pros and in college. What a weird angle. There we go. Hello, happy Saturday. Hopefully you're having a great Saturday so far. It is a gorgeous, picture-perfect Saturday here in Indianapolis. We are looking at 55 degrees. We're going to hit the mid-70s by the end of the day. So it's going to be a great day here in Indiana. A lot of good football going on all over the place, and we're going to get right into it. A big one at noon in the Big Ten. The Michigan Wolverines travel to Iowa to face the Iowa Hawkeyes. A very big game, 10.5-point favorites for the Wolverines. I love what they're doing. I really do. We've seen all their games. I really think that they are a team that is ready to roll, ready to really... sorry, we're trying to edit while I'm doing this, and it's not working. So we'll try it on here. Anyway, I think Michigan's a really, really good team. I think that they are primed to make another run. I think that they, last week, didn't really look great against Maryland, but I think overall their offense is way more aggressive this year. They've got the running game rolling. McCaffrey back there adds a different level of movement. Basically, he's got a cannon. I think one of the big questions was how is his arm accuracy, and I think so far he's done a good job with showing that he is good with that. So I really do think that Michigan will get the job done. Hang on one second. We're trying to... Okay. All right. Hi there. You still there? Okay. We are set. The live stream is rolling. Here we go. So anyway, like I was saying, I really do believe in Michigan. I think they could get the job done. I think if this was a night game, it would be a totally different scenario. I really think that they will do everything they need to do. I think they're going to control the clock. I know that Iowa is very, very kind of, I guess, tactical in what they do. They do take their time. Their offense will kind of bore you to death, and then they'll hit you with the big play. It's just been very, very difficult for them to get anything going offensively. But I think Michigan goes in, they get the job done. I think they not only win, but I think they cover the 10.5. Oklahoma at TCU, 5.5-point favorite for Oklahoma. I still think, even though they had the hiccup, I think that they still get the job done. I think they go in to TCU and win. I think that they always have a hiccup early in the year. I feel like they always struggle early, and then they catch their groove and get going. I'm going to take Oklahoma to cover and win, 5.5-point favorites. Texas Tech, 7.5-point dogs at Kansas State. Kansas State is a good little team. They were the ones that beat Oklahoma. They got the Nebraska transfer as a quarterback. I think that they get the job done. I think they hold serve at home. It's going to be the over-under is 56. I think they're going to go over that. I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game, but I think Kansas State gets the job done. Illinois at Wisconsin. This is a Tickle Fest. Wisconsin's a 6.5-point favorite at home against the Illini. I don't think either of these teams are really going anywhere. I think Wisconsin wins because they're at home. They are the better team. They've just really struggled through the year. They just have not looked good at all. So I think maybe this is a chance for them to get right and hopefully kind of get their season back under control, and they get the win at home. Purdue at Minnesota. Minnesota's a 9.5-point favorites. They're ranked 21 in the country. Purdue all these expectations. Aiden O'Connell was an outsider for the Heisman. The team was outsider to get to the Big Ten championship game. This is going to be a big game deciding what they do with their season. Do they get back into it, or do they kind of fall by the wayside and they struggle even to get to a bowl? So I think, being in Indiana, I had family who went to Purdue. They would not be happy if I picked against them. So I'm going to pick the Boilers at Minnesota. I think they get the job done, but I think this is really, really close. 9.5 is a lot of points to be given Minnesota, but I think Purdue gets the job done, and gets their season back on track to see if they can somehow crawl their way back into that Big Ten title discussion. Kentucky at Ole Miss. Kentucky's 7th in the nation. 6.5 point dogs at Ole Miss. The 7th team in the nation is on the road, and they're 6.5 point underdogs. I think Ole Miss gets the job done. I love Lane Kiffin. I love what he's doing down there with receivers. Their defense is flying all over the place. I think Ole Miss wins. I don't think they cover. I think that this is real close. I think it's much closer than what the 6.5 is. And again, it wouldn't be that surprising if Kentucky actually wins the game. They're ranked 7th. They're really, really good. Kentucky is really good. So they're not getting much respect on the road. Louisville, BC. Louisville's a 13.5 point favorite. I think that Louisville gets the job done. Navy, Air Force, that's always a good one. Air Force is 13.5 point favorites. I think that they get the job done. Navy's just struggling big time, especially their defense. Really struggling now. Oregon State, Utah. Utah's a 10.5 point favorite at home. They're ranked 12th. I take Oregon. I take Utah. I take the Utes. Their offense is going to be too much. Also, their over-under is 54. I would take the over for that. I think they're going to be way over that. So they can enjoy this a little bit here. Let's see. Oklahoma State at Baylor. Oklahoma State's 9th. Baylor's 16th. Baylor's a 2.5 point favorite. I like Oklahoma State. I like their offense. They've been able to throw the ball around. I think that they are going to get the job done down in Baylor today. I think Oklahoma State will come out rolling, and I really do think that they are they're 2.5 point dogs. I would take that all day. I think Oklahoma State, kind of like Oklahoma, they struggle a little bit early, then they kind of find their groove. The difference with Oklahoma State is they always kind of fall off at the end. I think that this year that they are legit. I love what they're doing on the offensive side, and I think they get the job done. Penn State at home against Northwestern, 25.5 point favorite. That's a lot, but Northwestern stinks in a bad way. So I'm going to take Penn State. I'm going to take the points. Give me 25.5, and let's go up over that. Wake Forest at Florida State. What a great game this is going to be. This is an afternoon game. Florida State's a 6.5 point favorite. I love Wake Forest offense, but I think Florida State gets the job done. I think that when they're at home, a little bit more oomph. I think the home crowd's going to be really crazy after what happened this week. I'm going to take Florida State at home. Alabama, Arkansas. Woo! Alabama is 2nd. Arkansas is 20th. We all know what Alabama is all about. They're a machine. They're 17.5 point favorites on the road against the number 20 team in the nation. Alabama had their iffy game earlier in the year. I really think that Arkansas plays this close. I really do. I think Alabama wins, but I don't think they cover. I think 17.5 is a lot of points. I think the Arkansas defense will be ready to play. I think that they're going to keep this a game going into the fourth quarter. I really do. I think Alabama does win at the end, but I think it's something where this is much, much closer than what people think. 17.5 is a lot of points. That's a lot of points on the road. Michigan State, Maryland. Maryland's a 7.5 point favorite. Maryland played Michigan so tough last week, and Michigan State just can't get out of their own way. Turnovers, their secondary is playing awful. They just can't get it going, so I'm going to take Maryland to cover at home and win. My North Carolina Tar Heels home, 9.5 point favorites over Virginia Tech. I always take the Tar Heels. How can I not pick against them? That's my team. I think they win. I think we get the offense back on track. Last week was kind of a hiccup against Notre Dame, but we're back, ready to roll. And this is the march to the ACC Championship for the Heels. So today, big win for my Tar Heels at home. Ohio State, number 3 in the nation, hosting Rutgers, 38.5 point favorites. Rutgers kind of stinks, and I think Ohio State's loaded. Obviously, their offense is fantastic. So I take Ohio State plus the points. I think that they cover. Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Mississippi State a 3.5-point favorite. This is a really, really clever, catchy game as well. I think Texas A&M struggled earlier in the season against App State. I think that they kind of are going to find their ground. I think that they're going to be really, really good competition the rest of the year. I think their defense gets the job done today. I think that they beat Mississippi State at home, which I guess would be an upset. Mississippi State is at home and getting some points, so I take Texas A&M. LSU Auburn. LSU is an 8.5-point favorite at Auburn. Neither of these teams is ranked. This is a night game, 7 o'clock game. What do you think about Brian Kelly? Do we trust him? Do we think he knows what he's doing down there? Somebody does. Vegas does. 8.5 is a lot of points. I take Auburn. I think that they, I don't know if they win, but I think they cover. I think they definitely, 8.5 is a lot of points to be given a team that really hasn't shown that much yet this season. NC State at Clemson, a huge game tonight in the ACC. Clemson 6.5-point favorites. If this was at NC State, I might flip and think NC State has a chance. But Clemson at home, night game, they haven't really been in the limelight that much. So I think that they absolutely take care of business. I think they roll Clemson big. The over-under is 44.5. I take that. I think we're going to almost hit that in the first half. I really take Clemson. I think their offense explodes. And a big, big win for the Tigers. Speaking of Tigers, Missouri hosts Georgia. Georgia 29.5-point favorites at Missouri. 29.5 is a lot of points, but Georgia is really good. So I take Georgia. I think they cover. I think they roll. The over-under is 54.5. I think that they hit that, and Georgia just keeps the machine rolling. Georgia Tech at Pittsburgh, 21.5-point favorites for Pittsburgh. I think I think Georgia Tech keeps it close, but they kind of stink too. I think Pittsburgh wins in a big, big way. USC at home against Arizona State, 25.5-point favorites. I think USC is too good. Arizona State's all over the place with no Herm Edwards. I think that team is kind of defeated. I think USC gets the job done in a big way. What else we got here? Oregon. Oh, we're already looking at next week. Okay. Sorry. Oregon at home against Stanford. I think Oregon's a 17-point favorite, so I think that they get the job done at home. Stanford will hang around like Stanford always does, but I think the Oregon athletes are going to be too much for them to handle. IU at Nebraska, an evening game tonight. Nebraska's a 5.5-point favorite. I have no idea how that is. Nebraska stinks. IU kind of stinks, but I think that they stink less. So I really, truly think that IU goes in there, and I think they get the job done. They've been able to win. They've been able to win these games. Last week was not a good week at Cincinnati, but I ultimately think that they get the job done. And really, I think that they hopefully get their season back on track, kind of like what Purdue's trying to do. Let's look and see real quick what the only morning headlines are here. Arch Manning broke Eli and Peyton's high school records last night. He's going to obviously be going to Texas, so we'll see what happens there as that continues to get closer. There's a lot of storylines in NC State, Cleveland, Alabama, Arkansas. I think Alabama's just going to... I think Arkansas will keep it close, but I think that's Alabama's game to win. And I don't trust NC State. I don't know if it's because I'm a Carolina fan and never really trust NC State or Duke, but I just don't trust them. I don't think that they're going to keep it close. I think that Clemson's going to kind of run away with this. I really do. The interesting game for me is this Kentucky-Ole Miss game. And I know Ole Miss is ranked 14th. Excuse me, but Mississippi being a 6.5-point favorites at home, 4-0, 4-0. That's going to be a really, really good game. I mean, I think Ole Miss, they obviously can throw it, they can score, but so can Kentucky. 6.5 at home is a lot. So I think that's going to be a really clever game. That's at noon. This Michigan-Iowa game, people are trying to build up. That's going to be close. I think Iowa will stick around because that's what they do, but I think Michigan's too good. I really do. I think they're going to get the job done at the end. TCU undefeated hosting Oklahoma. again, I think Oklahoma is going to go in and take care of business. I think TCU is going to keep it close, but we'll see. So anyway, that's it for us. We're going to shut her down. Go check out College Game Day. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate everybody here. Make sure you comment below with your picks, who you got today. Let me know your winners. Let me know some winners. I think Ole Miss wins. I think Oklahoma wins. I think I think Kansas State wins. Michigan, Utah, Georgia, Alabama. Not picking a ton of upsets. I don't think LSU wins at home or on the road. I don't really care for them. I think A&M gets healthy today and ready to roll. I think Florida State goes. So we'll see what happens there. So thanks for being here. Enjoy the College Saturday. We appreciate you. And we'll be back next time with another episode of the Daily Craig Football Show.